Thanks.
Well, amazing. So you did not write a poem for your application for Andoya Space?
No.
Okay.
No.
That was just a normal application. But you still got it. You still went to Norway to Andoya Space. And
you're working on a Cubesat, right?
Yes.
Okay. Can you tell us what is a Cubesat?
So a Cubesat is a small satellite from 10 by 10 centimeters. And if you have many of them, they can have the same functionality as a really big satellite. So you usually see more of those small satellites working together. And
Okay. And what can you do with a Cubesat? If it's that small, 10 by 10 by 10.
This one in particular measure temperature and pressure. Okay. So with that you can monitor the climate. And also if it's that small, you can launch it more often. You have more data from more points.
Yeah. And you can launch them into like low Earth orbit or maybe a bit higher as well.
Yes. This one in particular will even be launched with a balloon.
Cool.
Not with a rocket.
Wow.
And the advantage of that is that it goes much slower than a rocket. So you have much more data from lower layers of the atmosphere.
That's cool.
Do you know when it will be launched?
It will be launched actually in the next educational program probably.
Okay.
I don't know yet when it will be, but probably this year.
So how long have you worked on it? How long did you live in Norway?
5 months.
5 months.
Wow.
Was it the winter months or the summer months?
The winter months.
Oh.
I actually arrived in January and my first day was already a hurricane.
Oh, great.
So the one in Houston was not my first one.
Okay.
It was not a really warm welcome. Like the first day of my internship got cancelled. I didn't know anyone. It was dark outside. We had no electricity. It was cold. We had to make fire in the corridor.
Jesus. Welcome to Norway.
Yeah, I said welcome. Yeah, and I thought, well, it can only get better.
Yeah. So how was it like working and living in Norway in the Arctic Circle in the midst of winter? And did you go to the office every day? And how was it like?
I really liked it. I really liked the Norwegian working style first. That was we worked from 8 to 4. So you had the whole day after. You could still do things.
In the dark.
In the dark or whatever, watching northern lights, go skiing, go swimming. And also the active lifestyle that really matched how I want to live. I could go in the mountains. I went cross-country skiing. I took ice baths as well.
Cool.
So we just drilled a hole in the ice and then you chill in it for a minute or so.
Oh, you just chill in it.
And you get out and you feel like newborn. Watching northern lights. There was a climbing hole as well. I could go whale watching.
Wow.
That's incredible.
I had a really good time.
A very healthy lifestyle, a good balance, like a year. And you're even showering cold still. Is it then?
Since then, yes. I came back and I missed it.
You missed the cold bath, showering cold. So that's very cool. And was it something that you really wanted to do in Andoya Space, like working on a Cubesat and doing the educational material? Was it something that you knew you'd be doing when you go there?
Yes, so I applied already for the job and it was already a bit in the job description. Okay. Then I was excited for it. Well, so far I was only a software programmer. I do AI, I do automation, I do bash scripting, all that kind of stuff. But I never got to work with hardware and I was already like, I don't know actually if I qualify for this. But if I do, I would love to learn more about it. And then coming there, I discussed with my supervisor as well, what kind of projects do you like? I ended up even doing 2 projects. So I automated an autonomous tracking facility as well. Okay. That didn't work for 3 years. So I think they were quite happy with me. Yeah. And the satellite, of course, developing the hardware and software for that.
Very cool.
That's incredible.
And the Cubesat, you said it measured temperature and pressure.
Yes.
Can we ask why did it do that? What was the scientific goal? Was it towards a certain experiment or was it an educational demonstration?
It's mainly for demonstration, but it's very similar to satellites that are really used to measure those kind of things.
Absolutely.
And especially this data is important to monitor the climate over time.
And these Cubesats, they're obviously a standardized form, which makes it easier to be included in launches, I suppose, because a lot of launches have ballast, namely like extra space, which they add like weights to ensure like a balance of the launch. But if you can fill that instead with intelligent machinery,
Yeah.
is preferable, I suppose.
Indeed, and that's also how many companies building CubeSats get on the rocket.
Exactly.
They just buy the space that's left and can
Yeah.
get super cheap into space.
It's super cool. Yeah, I
That's
think
really
the
cool.
Irish satellite recently that was launched was like a 2U or a 3U configuration.
Okay.
Yeah, it's something I'd love to do actually personally. Yeah, I think the instructions come in like 6 pages or something. It's like it's a super simple specification because it's standardized.
Yeah,
That's
and it's
nice.
also nice to start with. Like I didn't have any electronics background before I started the job, and then I could just with videos and self-learning and talking to my supervisor design 2 PCB for it. And well, everything is so standardized. You don't have to think about dimensions, for example.
Yeah.
No, it's lovely. It gives you access to space, you know.
Yeah.
Gives young generations access to space and more affordable. Do you get to see the spaceport as well?
Yes.
Oh, very cool.
Yes,
Wow.
absolutely. No rocket launch,
Okay.
unfortunately.
With a balloon launch?
A balloon, many.
There are
They're
many,
launching
okay.
balloons every day.
Okay.
2 times a day
Wow.
even.
Ah.
Yeah.
There's mad. Is the office right there at the launch site, or is it somewhere else?
It's somewhere else. It's the launch site. They have actually a launch site near the office as well, but it's only for suborbital.
Okay.
And for orbital rockets, they needed to move further away from the village, so that's
Fair.
30 kilometers away.
Okay. That's incredible. And here you have met the Andoya Space team here in IC. Gave them one of your
Yes,
books as
of
well.
course.
That's cool.
Would you like to go back? Would you recommend
Yes,
to go
yes.
to Norway?
Absolutely.
Why is that?
Because of the good life there, the good people as well. Everyone is super kind, and the lifestyle I can have there, but not at any other place. Also, going to Houston after, I really found I don't want to live in a big city.
Can you tell us what are the advantages of balloons for getting to space?
First, it's cheaper.
Okay.
So balloon, you can launch much more balloons compared to a rocket, for example.
Yeah.
And you have data for a longer time span as well.
Sure.
Balloon goes much slower.
Yeah.
It's easier to operate. You don't need to clear airspace up to very high altitude.
Because how high does it go? I guess it doesn't actually go to space, like past the Kármán line?
20 to 30 kilometers.
Okay. Yeah. So pretty high. A lot higher than an airplane, commercial
Yeah.
airplane, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Amazing. Okay. And what can you learn from a balloon experiment, for example?
Ooh, a lot. I think
Yeah.
you especially need a time series of data.
Okay.
So if you launch in Andoya, they launch 2 balloons a day at a certain time as well. So I always went there at that time to watch the balloon. And if you have a time series, you can see how it changes over time, and especially compare with the years before how it was,
Okay.
and monitor the climate over the long term.
How many people does it take to launch a balloon?
In Andoya, it's automated actually.
Is it?
That's cool.
It is. So there's one person that always changes the balloons.
Okay.
And once every 2 weeks, you need to resupply the stock.
Okay.
And then there's an autonomous tower, and at a certain time it blows up. It releases the balloon.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. And what can you learn from a time series data like that? Is it about like climate change or?
Yeah, climate change. So you have the pressure, you have the temperature, and you can monitor if it increases on average. Of course, you have different days, but on average, you can see then how it changes over the years.
I guess that's something also really important for the for the Nordic countries.
Yeah.
You said this was your first foray into hardware. So with the Fly Your Rocket program, were you more working on software?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Then I was doing telemetry.
Ah.
So I made sure that the data come back and program the processing of the data to visualize it.
Very nice.